support work in the past, without a doubt. Previous TI winner, I think AUI 2000, really the big one in particular, you'd kind of think of with some incredible Naga support. So let us see how iSice is going to be able to play this. It is a interesting draft we have in store for us, and an interesting game as well. I'd probably say I feel like Xtreme's lineup just looks a little bit easier to execute, but with that being said, like you mentioned, I do think this Veno Sven lane versus the Darkseer and Earthshaker, it should go very well for Team Zero. You have some pretty good responses overall to the Darkseer as this game goes on. Invoker Tornado to be able to dispel. If Beyond can get the Doom on the Darkseer, then it's great. But then again, if you don't Doom him, Surge is a great way to retreat. There's a lot here. Zero have some scaling too, which is something to mention. So
is this their second smoke or their first that they're going for?
I think second.
Here. Yeah, because they've gone off the map once again. Underneath the vision of the Watcher, CTY moves back under, so they're going to be able to set up once more. Remember, this is where they came unstuck in game number 2. Just that response is coming through from Xtreme Gaming. They're going to be able to dodge that gank attempt. Just walking back into the Watcher, ended up revealing that smoke. Xingqiu's in position as well to be able to block up this first wave. So, it's going to be a hard lane. The Venomancer, Sven going up against the Darkseer, Earthshaker, but Xingqiu definitely in the right position to be able to make the creep equilibrium be a little bit closer towards the dire tier 1 tower at bot.
I think CTY as well is like 2-0 with the Sven so far through qualifiers, so just something else to add. He's had some very good performances with this hero, so if he feels like he's going to be able to get the boys over the finish line, we'll see if that will be the case or not.
Look at this lane right up next to the dire tier 1 tower. They've been able to make it happen, so very nice start coming through. The lane, of course, always going to naturally push when you're playing this Darkseer with the Ion Shell. I guess CTY can sort of say a similar sort of thing with the Great Cleave.
Courier's getting traded.
Courier's traded, Camp's blocked up. Things looking pretty even across the board, and I mean, really couldn't expect much else after what's been a great series so far from 2 really solid teams.
Yeah, kind of the underdogs versus team that a lot of people would honestly be expecting to be in the grand finals, whether that be through the upper bracket or the lower bracket. So see who's going to be able to reign supreme. Interesting. What do we make of this, the Invoker build as a whole, and what do you feel like is kind of the current preferred one? Because yesterday, I think it was yesterday, was the first time I saw someone go like Exort and the right-click build, which was Sameo with like the Witchblade. I think he went maybe Manta. I actually don't remember if he went Manta now, but yeah, it was like Exort early and just right-click overall. But pretty much every time I've seen Invoker, it has been Crossworks.
It didn't really work out well for Smail, though, did it?
No, it did not.
I think the Wex is just way too strong right now. Like, having that cooldown reduction per instance feels incredibly vital. Invoker, one of those heroes that doesn't exactly feel the most mobile to be able to make a lot of rotations, even with power runes, just having movement speed off the back of that. And I feel like, especially against this lane, you're going to need more points in the Quas and the Wex just to be able to have the Ghost Walk so that you're never really forced to go back to the base all that often. So I'm totally fine with this build. I'm still a little concerned about what iSice is going to be doing on this top side for, the first, let's say, 10 or so minutes of the game, because it really doesn't feel like you have too much impact into the gyrocopter. Maybe it's going to be something as simple as, like, if he went points in the rocket barrage, soaking up a few more of those hits, but I think Ghost is content to just sit back and farm.
I think overall, as we look at this game, like, both supports on Xtreme really do nothing versus Naga Illusions in particular. So maybe the game for iSice is just to try and play as aggressively as he can in Xtreme's jungle and just take over some of the, even just cut the waves and steal a couple of camps here and there. Because like we said in the draft, like this is still a pretty greedy draft from Team Zero. Sven, Invoker, Doom as your trio core, like they need a lot of farm together.
Both drafts are pretty greedy, to be honest, and you know what that means. It's going to be not a massive stomp either way, right? Like we're going to see this game drag out to 30+ minutes just because they don't exactly have those easy ways to be able to convert team fight wins into towers. In the last real Naga Siren that I saw regularly was in the NA region, I believe, when Sammy Boy was playing it, and he looked to go the early Aghanim Shard just to be able to sustain a lot more in a lot of these team fights. mean, it feels relatively solid, right? You pop the flak cannon, you just look to get away if it's not the right sort of fight. You get a lot of that damage over time, especially coming through from the sonic wave, excuse me. Now, kind of damage coming through gradually, and it means that that heal can end up actually doing quite a lot.
What's going on mid lane?
No net just yet, and he's got one blink.
Very interesting gank. It will be a
checking if the blink's skilled, I guess.
Maybe we'll get confirmation that it is now. Overall, no, but both the carries are off to a very good start. It's actually CTY down bottoms hunting JT, so just going to get enough distance away. They still want to get the kill. There's a lot of time wasted.
He could just
ZZQ's just going to try and do it himself. In fact, he'll consider it. Wait, hang on, what's going on? Do you want the kill on ZZQ? Do you want to go through the rift? What is going on? Oh, you got to commit now on JT. That blood grenade's out. And he's got no mana for the Gale.
What's going on, man? I mean, he doesn't want to TP back to the base. He wants to stay out here for as long as possible. But the Shaker there, at least able to soak up a little bit, but they were even able to get the pull off on CTY while all that was happening. They're still going.
Oh, he ran away from CTY.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, nice. Okay, not going to matter. Should be able to get first blood. And he does. ZZQ lives on 60 health. First blood's going to be picked up from CTY. And in game 3, it's going to be Team Zero that strike first.
There's the laugh. Yeah, there's laugh, right?
Yeah.
So, here. Only way to play. But yeah, I'm not expecting this to get much easier for JT, right? Like, CTY has been really good at being the one to pull with the Venom making a lot of the space for him. Of course, JQ feels like he needs to make a lot of these rotations happen because, again, like you pick this Quap to try and dominate the mid lane. You got to say, though, 70's been doing a pretty fantastic job. He's already up by 300 net worth. He even looks to deny his Observer that he just placed. So things looking real good so far, although he's getting dived on now.
And they'll get the kill as a result of it. Tornado is going to do whatever it can to disrupt. Even Ice wrapping on the other side. Does have the ensnare now with ZZQ nearby. They will get the return kill less to deny.
Nope.
Is there from ZQ. Beautifully done. So, who got the kill on 70? It was XM as well.
It's a bonus. And again, it is one of the advantages that this lineup does have, right? A little bit more potential for those rotations to happen. Stuns make everything easier. I really feel like, I'm assuming that's the point you were going for with Xtreme Gaming having an easier to execute lineup. It's just stun into kill into progress into that next objective. The one area that I would say they come out slightly more on top is that, again, Gyro, not the greatest objective taker, whereas as Sven, if you win a team fight with a God Strength, you can look to remove those pretty quickly. Speaking of,
it's a very aggressive use of it.
I thought that Surge had gone off before the stun, but clearly just cancelling it out in time. JQ doesn't have mana as well, so he won't be able to get this stun off, I don't believe.
And he's probably going to die.
All right.
It's a wisdom room.
Wisdom, though.
Another kill. Oh, they stacked as well at the same time. Probably not going to be able to take that extra camp that was just stacked now.
Yeah, maybe if he had the war cry, but not with no points in it. Maybe.
Might get to some of the smaller ones. Well done. All right. Pretty good use of the God Strength. It was double Wisdom Room, though, nonetheless. DY is still taunting his way inside the jungle. So, I mean, you already see the comparison of the levels. DY level 5 compared to the 3 on Ice. So, this is...
It's micro.
Oh, my God, dude.
Stop bullying him.
Is he out?
It's going to run out soon.
What is going on?
Space.
He's not even going to try and run away. He's like, I may as well just deny myself. What am I watching, dude? Would someone kill him?
Yes, dude.
Oh, no.
Illusions.
Wait, no.
Give him a tip. Come on.
Oh my God. We got some Doom top lane as well. I know there's action in the river. They'll get the kill and beyond. Now we'll look at 7E with a TP out XM. Not enough mana for the Sonic Wave. So that was, I mean, simultaneous plays across the map with ZZQ coming through the portal. Helps get the first kill for Beyond. And then inside the river, 7E is able to avoid the gank as well.
Yeah, not enough for the Sonic Wave. He was about, he was a tiny bit short, 10 mana short. What's up?
CTY again, man. I feel like this is every game we see on the Sven. This is Alchemist territory net worth.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of crazy, and he's looking to make it continue even further. ZZQ showing himself.
Oh, they got to be quick.
Ghost, yeah.
Because they scanned the reinforcements that were coming over, but they're further down to the south instead of where Ghost is. ZZQ will go down. They commit the Sonic Wave for it. Maybe a little bit unnecessary. They still want to stick around. God Strength will expire, but they're going to be able to cut off DY. We'll find a path through the trees. And XM wants nothing to do with this. So another kill, and they're going to... Okay, look like they were going to give it a CTY. Be almost snag it down, of course. I mean, you can't blame him considering the Doom once you get closer towards the Midas, but this is an incredible start for Team Zero.
One downside, no stacks really for him to be able to take on this bottom side, but all Venom really needs is levels. So they're happy to put CZQ down on this bottom side of the map. He's already reached up onto his level 6, despite not getting either of those Wisdom Runes to be able to start the game off. So, you know, if he's part of 4 kills, he's going to be very happy with that outcome. And now really comes the point where he wants to be maxing out those Plague Wards, making sure you're not losing too much of your map, because they're really going to want to start making a few of these moves shortly on Xtreme Gaming.
Yeah, and who are the catalysts to make those moves, though, for Xtreme?
It's got to be around the Quap, right? Might be a little bit more of a focus onto securing some of these power runes. Right now, just getting a refill up on the top side because of how far Ghost has been pushed away from the lane by Doom consistently running at him. It's with good cause as well. Just 8 seconds left on the Doom cooldown. Look to try and chase him.
All right. Well, we'll have to look at what he's able to do. Sonic Wave up shortly. Kind of even also need to get track on the supports as well. I think we got to cover that incredible Earthshaker performance from XinQ, which was against Team Aster in the upper bracket semi-finals, that game 3 where he I can't remember if we gave him MVP, but yeah.
They were equal.
Yeah. So let's see if he can do it again. About to be level 6. But this lead is really starting to grow, and CTY is getting super active on this Sven. I
mean, they see where Ghost is. That it was Overwatch, just got a very brief glimpse of him. He might be the one that gets caught out beforehand. Just looking to yoink away some of those stacks as quickly as possible and get back towards the safety of his side of the map. I love a Sven that uses God Strength basically on cooldown, right? You want to make sure that you're maximizing. That's why he's able to get so far ahead as JT. He actually gets caught out, clipped by the Venomous Gale, but the Surge, even just the 2 points, is going to be able to get him enough back towards relative safety. But this is the issue that I had. You know, their draft doesn't do as much as what Team Zero's does. You can stand with a Sven on the front lines. You can be a little bit more active. You're a lot more durable, so you can look to yoink away a lot of those stacks. And I mean, even just a stun in the laning stage feels so effective, especially when you've got a lane dominator like a Veno to be able to play around.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't really remember at least some of the other games we've covered anyone else prioritizing the Sven this much. Again, this is, at least unless there's a game I'm missing, is 2 for 2, and if it continues up like this, might get another win on the board as well. It's a 5,000 net worth lead 12 minutes in. Like Xtreme, they are going to have to make some incredible team fight plays. This is definitely one thing that they have in their arsenal. You know, the Echo Slam, Sonic Wave with the wall as well, but they need the levels. You really need to get them pretty fast as well, because Team Zero are going to start to continue to occupy the map. You know, we already see Beyond moving into the top jungle. You've got CTY taking, you know, where the, what's this, the well area? No, sorry, the Mighty Mine area jungle out for XinQ. So they are getting a lot more farm across the map, and probably an extra kill as well as, they use the Doom. Why not put it off cooldown? You know, just easy kill, no messing around. They want to go back to farming. I mean, I think that's just a perfect example of, you know, they're fine with just getting a kill and back to farming. They don't want to commit too heavily.
I mean, the big thing that's a difference between Game 2 and Game 3 is that they didn't commit for like these hyper deep dives behind the Tier 1 tower. They made sure that that Tier 1 tower was gone so that Ghost didn't have this space to be able to just move back into the jungle and pick up that farm. Gyro is one of the better heroes at being able to just use Flak Cannon and farm it away. Doesn't have the greatest mana cost. You can look to itemize into a little bit of mana regeneration so that you can just set your camp up here. But CTY, he's basically left the bottom side of the map because there's no way that they're going to invade past your Tier 1.
Swap back, Beyond. Nice start onto the Doom. He's pretty survivable though. They're gonna have to blow everything to secure the kill. They don't want to use the Sonic Wave. Oh, Echo and going Sonic Wave instead, using our Ghost. He showed up inside the lane. It's more of a defensive wall from JT to act as a deterrent, so CTY won't continue on, but it's an even better fissure from XinQ. He won't get blocked, but they will still be able to catch up to him. Those are the signs of life that we need to see out of Xtreme. 70's not done just yet though, but he won't continue to chase onto DY.
I mean, I completely understand CTY going in there. I mean, what did you really have to be afraid of with the Echo and the Sonic Wave being on cooldown? But they were just able to isolate him so well. The rest of the boys just weren't there to assist. CZQ, even with that TP scroll available, was just wanting to make sure that this tier 1 tower didn't make too much damage. And you've got to say, maybe that's the time that you need to make that sort of rotation, provide some of the slows for your carry. Even just laying out the Parvis onto him could have been the difference maker. Still though, 5k, it's a lot to have to overcome.
Yep. And it is indeed.
Before is that there are far fewer places now for Ghost to farm than what he did previously. So even though, you know, he was part of that, he ended up getting the dominating streak away from CTY. He is still a good 1,500 or so behind this span. Of course, that's going to pick up once he's able to get into the Aghanim Scepter for himself. But I mean, CTY is going to just spend all of this time picking up his own farm.
It's a big move. And it's a great wraparound angle as well from Team Zero. Looks like somehow they're able to read this though.
You don't become a legend of the Chinese region for no reason.
No.
Just got that sixth sense.
I really like how much priority they're giving to XinQ as well. I mean, he's level 9, same level as the Invoker. And again, his game versus Aster, he had an MVP performance. He's got the Aghanim Shard, I believe, now coming out on the Courier. So we shall see now. Maybe they're going to try and potentially force a fight. They definitely want to recontrol this triangle. That is, without a doubt, the most important part of the map for them.
Love this Plague Lord, right? Yeah, he's so good at area control. That is one of the huge strengths of this Venomancer, right? Again, Ghost is just begging for somewhere to be able to farm right now. He can't go in these top few camps. He can't go to the top lane. And he feels a little bit uneasy about going to the Mighty Mines sort of area as well, because it may very well be warded. It's not, but he doesn't know that. And it's way too early to buy a gem to be able to fully scout that one out.
Ghost mid lane, 7E. Does he just want to force reactions? I mean, Burning Mana is even good in itself as well. That's 3/4 of his mana just completely gone for Ghost.
I think he's going to get fed over a Clarity. Yep. DY just gets one, thought it was for himself, but no. He's going to give the healing salve over as well. That's a good support right there.
So, again, we're almost in a similar position where Team Zero, considering about the scale, you've got Beyond with Midas, you've got 70 with almost the recipe completed. Do we feel like they will have the scarier late game if we do get to that stage?
I believe so. I mean, I think this game is really just going to be reliant on XinQ. Like, is he going to be able to land those game-winning Echo Slams to be able to turn this one around? Because when you think about it, like the Span and the Doom, and I guess the Naga as well, want to be in similar sort of areas. So I could definitely see a bunch of melee heroes clumping up for him to be able to have that sort of impact. And these are the sort of high-stakes games where you can, even the smallest lapse in concentration, you can forget about those sorts of things. But I mean, the Gyrocopter, we know that his impact is going to be reduced by just having a support laying out the song, by having the Sven using the Warcry to buff up not only himself, but the rest of the team. So it really does feel like a rough one for Ghost to be able to carry this game.
Top lane. Looks like they're making an attempt onto JT. They should be able to get it with a couple of heroes showing bottom. They're even going to use the Doom as well. A lot of hate onto JT's Darkseer. We do see a trade of kills across the map, though. Oh, XinQ revealed himself for a second, and yeah, nothing's going to stop them from getting the chase down. So just another freebie from Team Zero.
It's more about that
bottom lane, right? Beyond now. It's a bit more of a difficult kill. Yeah, that is some crazy stuff right there. No way DY lives now. He's got to be crafty with the Dukes, and XM as well is sticking in the trees, but if he gets stunned once, he might just die from 4 to 0. There's the first in the chain control. XM caught off in the trees, and yeah, Xtreme, that is a crazy attempt.
It's a costly kill to be able to give up as well. I mean, Sven, he's made this rotation down bottom. You've got all your cores down here as well on Team Zero. I guess the main thing that they're worried about, once again, is Xingqiu. Otherwise, I feel like they would full-on commit into taking this Tier 1 tower to open up a little bit more of the map and just force Ghost to be scared with where he could look to pick up this farm. You know, it's been only about 4 or so minutes since I mentioned it previously. It was a 1.5k lead at that point for the Sven relative to the Gyro. Now it's 2.5.
And he's farming up a storm. CTY always gets very active with the Sven. Blink Dagger can be completed if he wants to. Maybe he's considering about going for the Shadow Blade. Never mind. Blink will now be completed. So they are, I mean, we're probably looking at them making a play very, very shortly. You got the Doom up in 30 seconds. Where would they like to try and take a team fight though for Team Zero?
I think they're totally fine with, again, just keeping control over this bottom area of the map if they can afford to. I mean, you've got the Song of the Siren if you want to set up for a bunch of TPs in to be able to take this fight. Oh, they won't be able to get rid of that tower. Nice little play there by Xingqiu, using the Enchant Totem to get the mini stun, stopping Beyond from denying that tower. But I was thinking, like, 20 seconds, Roshan's going to be down bottom. You want to maintain this farming space. You got
CTY
heroes down here.
Just runs out of range. They might look for the swap back, but they'll start with the Fissure instead. Beyond's not an easy person to kill off. And Team Zero, they're going to wrap around as well as CTY reveals the blink. They're going to try and bring down DY to start. It's an early commit with the BKB. Meanwhile, JT, he does get the Invoker stuck on the higher ground. We'll see how much value that's going to provide them in a longer drawn-out fight. They have separated themselves, so Isos off to the right. Meanwhile, they have to use the Doom as well to secure the kill onto JT, but CTY is not done just yet. Another round of spells getting casted onto Ghost as Beyond can fall into the tree line, and now Ghost seeing Q to come in huge inside here, and he'll be able to do just that. A round of spells to protect the Gyrocopter, and he's not going to tick out to the damage over time, as XM still looking for more, and he'll be able to secure the kill. As yeah, I mean, that was, in the end, we saw the value. Invoker not really being able to spellcast inside the fight was probably a big reason why Xtreme to actually come out with the trade.
Surely they don't guess that he's still up there.
They're pinging.
One.
Oh, random.
No,
Fissure's down. Oh, no.
Oh. That would have been an absolute disaster, man.
All right. That's a blink reveal. And pretty decent fight in the end. I mean, dude, Xingqiu's got blink now as well. Okay, let's see what he's able to do with a Philosopher's Stone as well. So he could get to the stage what we saw last time. What was it like? Agshard, Blink. Did he go BKB next and then like Refresher or something?
Yeah, I remember the Refresher for sure that ended the game. He ended up refreshing with Echo with like 5 seconds left on the cooldown, but to be able to put a stamp on it and say this game's done, he was happy to enough to pop it. What do you feel like are the thoughts right now in the Xtreme camp? You know, down, they definitely would feel, they don't know how far behind they are, but they know they would be behind by a decent chunk or a little bit. Do you feel like they're happy kind of with the status quo, and especially after that previous fight, or are they still a little bit concerned? I think they're still a little bit concerned just because you aren't still keeping up with the Sven. That's my main concern. And Doom is also continuing to scale beyond this as well, right? And I mean, the thing is, you're getting into things like the Lotus Orb, which are going to provide you a lot of protection up against the Invoker, the Naga, the Venomancer as well. But I just don't feel like it's enough. And my issue still is like, who is actually going to be the frontliner? Ghost has to put himself in such risky positions a lot of the time.
Yeah.
That, I mean, even if you have all of this healing and all of this movement and all that sort of stuff, you can still be countered by a simple song.
Yep. Another aggressive play from Xtreme. At level 2 in the Echo, and Xingqiu's going to lead the charge as well. They are already starting Roche. Nice scan as well from Team Zero. So they know this movement is coming down. They're a little bit split though. Ice will be the first point of contact. It's just a quick and easy kill. He doesn't have a buyback, so it will be a 4v5, but Roche is going to go down before they can contest. As Beyond, he finds an angle for the jump in. It's going to be a Lotus Reflected Doom, and now this will make this fight pretty goddamn messy, especially with the spellcasting from Xingqiu's Fissures. Now they jump over the top, Echo Slam isolating the Invokers Xtreme. Even though they were late to contest the Ages, it did not matter, as they find a 3-for-0 trade.
What a team fight coming through by JT there. You mentioned the Lotus Sword being able to reflect that onto the Doom, so he's nowhere near as tanky, even if you were able to pop the mech or anything like that coming through from the Naga after the fact, and even just surging through Ghost to make sure that when that Doom was used initially, he had the movement speed to be able to get back to safety and still deal a good amount of damage into that fight. So, I mean, a Sven with Aghanim Scepter isn't the scariest prospect, right? You are one of those let's call it a transformative or a steroid hero that you are much less strong on the second life if you're not using all of your cooldowns on the first.
Oh, JT, okay. A little bit frustrating. Yeah, of course he's fine. We definitely got a board game now. I mean, what was it? Max like 6K net worth. Yep. They've done a very good job on Xtreme to claw this game back. And you know, we were speaking a lot about, you know, the Queen of Pain and the Darkseer kind of being a little bit behind in regards to net worth. They definitely still are, but one person as well on Team Zero is 7E. We have not really felt the impact out of this Invoker, and it's showcasing in regards to his net worth.
Yeah, being cliffed doesn't help things, but...
No, not at all.
He's got the Boots of Travel now, he's got the Midas, he's constantly walking around with Wex invoked as well, just to make sure that you have that slightly lower cooldown for the Hand of Midas, so he's going to be able to catch up somewhat, but I just really feel like we haven't felt his impact in a lot of these team fights, because it's a really risky position to be in, especially now with JT picking up... Oh, did he change things up? I thought he was going to Blink Dagger, but looks like he's looking to build Pipe instead. Because the potential for Wombo combo is huge from Xtreme Gaming, right? Blink back into the wall, into the Sonic Wave, into the Echo Slam. Everyone will die, 100-0. So you really need those BKBs to make sure that's not as much of a factor or punish even the slightest misstep coming through from Xtreme Gaming.
Even with the Aegis, though, they're not going to be too concerned, it looks like. A lot of heroes grouped around top to potentially put some pressure onto the tier 2 tower.
They've got some good vision set up top, so I really don't think they're in a position to be able to defend this all that well, although it looks like they want to make a bit of a push of their own down towards bot. This is exactly what you want. Anytime you've got a team fight, JT is just looking to rush his way down towards the bottom side as quickly as he can. Maybe put a little bit of extra pressure in onto mid, but looks like they will be able to probably get a 1-for-1 trade. You've got a Siege Creep helping you out, and they see the Sven TP, and that's the main one that you're concerned about. The Ghost.
Oh, whoa, that's a lot of damage. Hang on a second.
Didn't point anything.
They need to get out pretty quick, though.
Needs to move his crystals.
They're all starting to funnel down bottom. Ice might be able to catch them out. Swap back, but CTY is in a great position to be able to get on top of Ghost, but he's still got the BKB to work with, and do they want to turn now? What's the call? As Xin-Q finds a fissure onto 2. ZZQ's not really the target. Meanwhile, Ice, it's a disruptive song where CTY eyes onto the Sven. If he can find an angle back inside the team fight without the BKB, he's hesitant. Cleaves down 1, tries to jump in the middle. Meanwhile, there's another vac onto 2 onto the high gun, so Ghost, he can just freely clean them up from downtown, as in the end, some great spell casting under the boys on Xtreme.
There was some good spell casting, but at the very start of that fight, I was looking at CTY. After the Aegis got claimed, he didn't have his Crystallis. So when he made that jump onto the Gyrocopter, you were missing out on so much damage, plus that potential to...
Oh, well, they see him.
They do.
Hang on, they see him.
No TP as well.
No BKB, blink down for 5. They're going to cut it. Oh, they ran the other way. Okay.
Oh, can't stay for too long. They got the swap.
He's all right now.
But I mean, now we were talking about Sven staying ahead of the Gyrocopter, not in anymore off the back of that last team fight. Ghost able to clean up with a couple of high-value kills. He's also got a Solar Crest buffing him up, so he is going to be a scary boy to have to face up against. And even a little bit of evasion coming through from the Elven Tunic. Svens don't exactly love going into an MKB, so would be a big deal if he's able to just get a little bit of that extra evasion coming through. He's already got the Butterfly.
Dude, this Sanjin Yasha is a very interesting choice. I do wonder if he's going to commit with it or not, especially at this stage of the game. He's going to be very slot dependent shortly. You already got BKB, Scepter, Butterfly. I thought he was going to go Satanic next just because you disassembled the Mask of Madness for the Butterfly and then, of course, having the Morbid Mask now. But I'm very
the Doom though, right? That's the big thing. You can have the Satanic on a Gyrocopter, which is one of the good counters to the likes of, you know, the Black Holes, the Dooms, but not for Doom anymore. No healing if you are the target of it.
Maybe that's where this potential Lincolns can come into play from Xingqiu. Is opting for that instead of the BKB. Of course, you have a lot of other things that you could potentially block. You know, the Storm Hammer, the Ensnare.
Not even
I've really spoken a lot.
Lincolns as well. You've got one finished up now, I believe, for the Queen of Pain.
Okay.
Who, for whatever reason, didn't buy it. There we go. It's finally coming out on the courier.
Okay, went Lincoln on Jar. Yeah, I was going to say, was very intrigued. So they've got double Lincolns now. And eventually going to be a third as well. Ice has a pretty good cliff fort to work with. They should be able to just slowly poke down the Venge from afar. It is getting a bit sloppy. Very cool. Swap of XM. Of course, he's able to blink away. They will get the read of Xingqiu top. So they know it's a 4v5. Bit of information for them to work with. I don't know if they have a smoke though. ZZQ's going to pop it as an inventory. I think a little bit too late now.
Don't think they quite got a glimpse there of Ghost using the scan to be able to protect himself, but I mean, they're stalling this one out pretty effectively. It really does feel like those Lincoln Spheres are going to be the go time for Xtreme Gaming. Already picked one up on 2 heroes. Xingqiu's set to come incredibly shortly. The Lotus as well. They're not even going to wait. With Roshan still not spawning for over a minute, it's a risky move to be able to take, especially if it is a really quick respawn.
Oh, well done. Good positioning from ZZQ. Pops the smoke. Gets out. He didn't have any vision of the high ground, but of course he was smoked, so it looks like everyone else is starting to play it a little bit safe. I say that. CTY is farming near Xtreme.
So I'm wondering what really they can use, like... Beyond has nothing that he can use to target, to break these Lincolns, right? Like, he's not going into an Aghanim Scepter, he doesn't have a Halberd, he doesn't have a Force Staff, he doesn't even have any sort of creep ability that's going to be able to break it. And I really feel like that's something that needs to change, unless you're going to rely on, like, ZZQ to land a latent toxicity from afar or something like that. But I just don't know if that's feasible to put that much onto a position 5 Veno.
They're starting to consider about setting up a trap down bottom. I don't know if this is... how easy this is going to be. And yeah, 70 wants out. Do they get a glimpse of CTY?
They do.
Oh, uh-oh. There's a potential for him to always BKB TP. Depends where the Venge is currently.
Buster,
I mean, he's with the boys.
Wait, what? Where's he going? Oh, he's going on to the... that way.
He needs help, man. He's going to have to BKB, I think. Oh, he... all right.
Dust?
Team? No one's coming down. He would try and go away now with the swap already being used far out, man. That is really close. That is, yeah, ballsy stuff.
It's the sort of play that you need to make just to try and drag this game out a little bit further, and they're going to be lucky in that Roshan didn't immediately spawn. It was 2 minutes on the timer there. We'll give him enough time to have that BKB back available, but it's already down to 6 seconds, which doesn't feel the greatest. You know, even just a really good placement of the wall of replica. I know we talk about, obviously, against this Sven, it doesn't feel as amazing as a lot of other heroes, but even just for the slow component, it's a really useful tool just to be able to seal off a big avenue of a lot of these team fights.
Oh, eyesight, sorry. Xingqiu's going to be able to run into the Naga, so should be able to get a pretty easy kill, unless, oh, even Ghost popped BKB. They saw the channeling of the song, so... I do want to speak a little bit about XM's build as well. Why are we seeing the Queen of Pain avoid the Scepter, which was a very common build for her, you know, Barley Major, Riyadh as well, but XM is not considering it.
I'm honestly not sure. That would be the sort of thing that I would be going for against, maybe just because the Naga Siren especially is being played as a support. It's not something that you need to deal with quite so much, and it's much more of a utility style, right? If you give this Gyrocopter the space to be able to be that true hero as long as he's not getting dueled up, then I think you're going to be just fine with this.
Bottom lane? Tip into the outpost, instant tip into the death. CTY as well as Blink's going to get cancelled.
They have the swap still available. Still just level 2 though, not the range for it. And they're praying for this Roshan to be coming up. It's only another 20 seconds away, but depending on how fast they take it, you might still... actually, he doesn't have the TP, right? He just TP'd into the outpost, so it'll need to be a long walk for Veno to be able to get back there. Maybe even just using the Smoke of Deceit for a little bit of extra movement speed. Here we go. Xingqiu, he's constantly using the enchant totem. Wanting to make sure he can catch out anyone that just tries to dive in a little bit too deep. and they're going to be rewarded for their patience. So I mean, this feels amazing, right? Against Song, against Doom, against all of these big ultimates.
Yeah.
Just having that second life available, it's going to be enormous.
And we are just... Oh, ice. He's going to Song to get XM, yeah. But nah.
Doesn't seem that way.
Oh, and they might even try and get the kill on Ice now. That dagger slow should help them close the distance. Xingqiu will cancel the TP. And it's going to be another death onto a support. They are going to try and get all the other lanes out fast enough, but do we... Because Team Zero completely avoiding team fights recently. Do you agree with their kind of read on the game that they are not in a position currently to take 5-on-5 fights?
Not with all these Lincolns. Like I mentioned before, beyond not having any of those Lincoln's breakers, and finally he's going to go into the Aghanim Scepter for himself. He's still about 1,500 or so gold away from being able to pick it up though, and without the Song and up against the Aegis, I'm not sure if they're going to give him the time to be able to do it. Maybe he just needs to play really ballsy, right? Like he's got the buyback available. He's got the gold to be able to do it as well. So you just got to try and push out this top lane, force someone to TP back so that they're not looking to go up into your high ground before you're truly ready to fight.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
That's a Daedalus. Yeah,
Jesus. I guess you do have some incredible high ground defenders though. Veno, Invoker, very frustrating.
But you're also playing up against a Avenge as well, right? That's going to be able to get forced out. What did he sell? Sell his
Who's this, sorry?
Yeah, JT's Beyond sold his Midas so that he could afford the Ags.
Okay.
But can you afford to use it onto Ghost? Remember, he's got the second life.
Oh, they're going to jump straight away. Beyond. Heavy commitment for the first life. Let's see what DY wants to do. The Sonic Wave's going to push them away, so Ghost can play accordingly for this. A BKB an instant turnaround. This was a lot committed in Team Zero. It's going to be up to CTY, but he's going straight into the stun. No BKB. The chain control was perfect.
Oh, some of it's luck, but some of it is just Xingqiu predicting where a lot of the plays are going to be coming from. You can't be tipping a man when he's down like this, though, XM. That is heavily on the back of Xingqiu being able to land that stun, and even if he buys back, no God Strength, no BKB available, you might just need to give up. At least this one lane of Rax might be a second, and Xingqiu making sure that the lane is going to push in so that that backdoor gets disabled as quickly as possible.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Just the momentum.
They're up against
just a breath of, yeah, without a doubt. Wind has been completely taken out of the sail of Team Zero from a vast majority of the past 10 minutes, even a little bit past that. ZZQ, you might just get poked down from the flak cannon, and XM will jump over the top. You should be okay. But they are completely zoning them away from the base. 7E, you're also too far forward. Beyond, he'll try again with the Doom, but everyone is too low to be able to capitalize on this. Another attempt wasted. Beyond's just gonna die to Ghost damage.
Dies to the damage as well. Once again, Xingqiu able to stop the Venomancer before he's able to get anything off. No Force Staff, no Parvis, no Solar Crest, not even a slow from the Venomous Gale. He has just been on point with his usage here. At least they have the Sven back. They have the Noxious Plague back up once again. But you've still got another Aegis.
They're gonna do something. Are they gonna go for the backline? Ice gonna get caught. He'll start with the Song. CTY jumps in. A quick and easy kill onto the Venge. It's been frustrating for them so far inside some of the fights, but who's the target next? They want to try and deal with Ghost, but CTY's BKB is now completely over, and his health might be gone as well. But the Force Stuff gets him out of the Sonic Wave, but it's not going to matter. Meanwhile, Xingqiu also got the Invoker, who doesn't have a buyback. The Throne's exposed, and Xtreme Gaming will get their rematch versus Azure Ray in the Grand Finals.
Tapping out at the very end, and you gotta feel for Team Zero, right? They put on such